Hello everyone, this is Olga Poltava. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my channel is all about crochet. I share tutorials, tips, and everything I've learned over the decades I've been crocheting. Today, I want to show you everything I crocheted this past summer, now that summer is over and autumn is here. Project 1. Cropped Lacy Top. The first project I made this summer was this cropped lacy top, just for myself. I didn't write a pattern for it and I didn't make a full tutorial, but I did film a progression video where I shared the entire process, from the first idea all the way to the finished piece. A lot of you told me you really enjoyed that behind the scenes style of the video. This top started because I had a pair of high-waisted pants in my closet and nothing to wear with them. So I thought, why not make something? I went to my stitch collection here on the channel, and if you've been following me for a while, you know I have tons of lacy stitches, mostly shown as scarves but easily adaptable to other projects. I picked a pretty lacy flower stitch and got to work. The yarn that I used is Alize Cotton Gold. It's a Turkish yarn you can find on Amazon, made with 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. Now, the top didn't turn out exactly the way I envisioned it, but it still came out pretty good, and it was such a fun, quick make. Project 2. Lacy Beach or Pool Cover-Up. I have to say this was probably my least successful and least favorite make of the season. It took me forever to finish, mostly because I kept unraveling, adjusting, and redoing it. At one point, I even ran out of yarn, so I had to get creative and figure out a way to keep going. I did film a progression video for this one too, so if you want to see all of my struggles, you can find that video on my channel. In the end, I wouldn't call it a total failure. I've actually worn it to the swim pool in my complex quite a lot this summer. It's just that there are a few things I wish I could have done better. But overall, not a bad project. And actually, Debbie from the channel Canadian Crocheter was inspired by my video and made the same beach cover-up. She even has a video on her channel where she models all the beach cover-ups she made this summer, and she made quite a lot. She used some of the lacy stitches from my channel to create them. When I watched her video, I just felt so proud. It's such a special feeling to know that people are inspired by my work and use my tutorials to make beautiful things for themselves. Project 3. Water Lily Lacy Top. I can confidently say it's the best work I did this summer. After I posted the video about my first lacy top, many of you asked for the pattern and a tutorial. I still had plenty of that same yarn in my stash, so I decided to give it a try. But I also made some important changes. First, I didn't want to create a crop top this time because I didn't think it would be as popular. Instead, I made it a bit longer. And another key goal was to make the pattern size inclusive, so it could be available in plus sizes as well. I chose a different lacy stitch for this one. The flower stitch I used in the first top was beautiful, but quite complicated. Adjusting it for different sizes would have been tricky because with lacy patterns, you have to keep the whole number of pattern repeats. You can't just increase by half a repeat. So I picked a simpler stitch that's much easier to work with, but it still looks really pretty. This was actually the first time I created a size-inclusive garment pattern, and I have to admit it was quite challenging. But thanks to the help of my technical editor, Javette, it became possible. I myself crocheted this top in 3 different sizes: extra small for the tutorial, small for myself, and a large one to test the pattern. Once the pattern was finished, Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches and Holly from Stitches Gonna Stitch tested it in larger sizes. You see, friends, it's one thing to crochet a small size garment and mathematically grade it for bigger sizes, but a pattern on paper doesn't always translate perfectly in real life. I wanted to be sure that the plus sizes would actually fit and look great on real people. Jennifer's and Holly's help was absolutely invaluable. They both shared their experiences testing the pattern and crocheting this top in their sizes on their channels. I'll link their videos in the description box below so you can watch them if you would like. And if you want to make this top, I have a full video tutorial for the extra small size available for free right here on my channel. The written pattern, including all the sizes, is available in my Etsy and Ravelry shops. And by the way, Holly is having a crochet along for this top on her channel, Stitch is Gonna Stitch, so you might want to check it out too. Project 4, Scrap Yarn Blanket. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm really proud of it. I worked on it throughout the summer and it took me about 3 months to complete. There was a lot of work involved, but the process was really enjoyable. I think this blanket is such a creative way to use up leftover yarns or second time around yarns. I've seen many scrap yarn blankets made with granny squares or other square designs, but mine is made with diamonds. In fact, there are 4 different elements in this blanket, 1 diamond and 3 different types of triangles. I filmed a detailed video showing how the blanket came together, and in it I included tutorials for all of these elements. I also showed how I connected the pieces together and made the border. So if you have a big pile of leftover yarns and don't know what to do with them, maybe this project will inspire you to make a blanket like this too. Project 5, Summer Flower Bookmarks. Besides my larger projects, I also made a bunch of bookmarks inspired by summer flowers and leaves. Summer is my favorite season and I just love wildflowers, blooms and grasses. For these bookmarks, I used 100% mercerized cotton, specifically YarnArt Begonia, which is one of my favorite yarns to crochet with in summer. I crocheted 4 bookmarks, a broadleaf, a lavender sprig, a dandelion flower, and a dandelion leaf. I've shared all of these tutorials on my channel, and the written patterns are available in my Etsy and Ravelry shops. Now, I also want to show you what I knitted this summer. Even though I'm not an experienced knitter, my resolution this year was to pick up knitting again. Earlier in the year, I knitted myself a sweater, and this summer I knitted another sweater, this time for my 2-year-old nephew as a birthday gift. I think it turned out cute, though there are certainly some things I still need to learn and improve in knitting. To make the gift even more special, I also crocheted a little teddy bear and knitted a matching sweater for it. It was so fun to combine crochet and knitting like that, a little handmade set for my nephew. And the last thing I want to show you is my cross-stitch tapestry project. This is a traditional Ukrainian village scene with a little cottage in summer. It reminds me of the cottage my grandparents had, where I spent many summers in my childhood. I started this cross-stitch project last summer, and honestly, I thought I would be done with it by now. But that's okay, there is no rush. I'm still very much enjoying working on it, and slowly but steadily, I'm moving towards the end. I'm really looking forward to finishing it, framing it, and putting it up on the wall in my home. So that's the summary of my crochet summer, plus a bit of knitting and cross-stitching. I'd love to hear about yours. What kind of projects did you complete this summer? What inspired you? Were all of them successful, or did you have any that didn't turn out quite as planned? I always enjoy hearing about your crochet adventures, so please share in the comments below.